And come to lie down on your back, knees bent with your feet on your mat. Let your arms rest along your sides and feel free to close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose and sigh out of the mouth. Once more, deep breath in through the nose. Sigh out of the mouth. And begin to come back to your natural way of breathing. Give yourself some time to arrive. Shifting all of your awareness towards your breath. Noticing its natural rhythm. Noticing the quality of your breath. Is your inhale longer, or is your exhale longer? Or are they the same? See if you can locate if your body, or if your breath is in one part of your body more than the other. Is your breath mostly in your belly? Do you feel it more in your chest? Just notice. And start to send your breath into your chest. Start to slow the breath down. Each time you inhale, filling your chest up with air, letting it broaden and expand. When you exhale, letting the chest float down into your back body. And go ahead and turn your palms to face up. Drawing your shoulder blades together on your back. Again, working with the breath in the chest. Start to inhale, filling the chest up with air, let it broaden and expand. As you exhale, press your shoulders into your mat. Slowly inhaling, filling the chest up with air. Exhale, shoulders press into your mat. So beginning to open up this chest space. A couple more breaths like that on your own. Taking in as much air as you can. One more breath like that. And then return to your natural breath. Draw your knees into your chest, give yourself a hug. You can rock side to side or in circles. And then roll onto either side, come into a fetal position, and come all the way up to sit. Coming into Vajrasana, so finding a kneeling position here. You can sit back on the heels. If it's not supportive to sit on the heels, then you might wedge a pillow in between your bum and your heels. You could use a blanket. And if you don't have that, then you might get a block and place that in between your feet, letting your sit bones rest on that block. And if you get settled into this shape, we'll take the left hand to the top of the head and start to draw the left ear towards the left shoulder. So feel that both shoulders are relaxing down, and then reach your right fingertips for your mat. Your fingertips don't touch the mat, just reach in that direction. We're not pulling or tugging on the head. The hand is really just added weight. Staying connected to your breath here. Bring your head back up to the center, float your left arm down, and we'll try the other side. Place the right hand on top of the head, draw the right ear towards the right shoulder. Again, let both shoulders be soft, be releasing down, and then actively reach your left fingertips down for your mat. We're going to be getting into the shoulders today, opening the chest space, opening up through the trapezius muscle. And then bring your head back to the center. Now we'll take the chin down towards the chest and take a few head circles. So rotating the left ear to left shoulder, letting the head roll back, and over to the right, and forward. So take this at your own pace. If there's any areas that feel a little sticky or rigid, then you might move a little bit slower. And then once you come back to the center, reverse the direction, go the other way. And then bring your head back to the center, back to where we started. All right, I'm going to turn around. First, I'm going to just fix something on my computer, and then you can stay as you are. And great. So I'm just going to turn around so you can see me a little better. And we'll take the left forearm. So staying in this kneeling position, take the left forearm and wrap it behind your lower back. Okay, and then feel your left shoulder press down and then hug the arm in a little more. So just wrapping the forearm. And then reach your right hand up for the ceiling and then bring the palm of your right hand towards your back. Hug the right arm into your ear. And then ever so slightly, you're going to take your head and lean it back into your arm so that you're sending your rib cage forward, lifting up through the chest, leaning back just ever so slightly. Let's stay here for 3 more breaths. And then come back to the center, draw your rib cage into your back body, neutralize your spine, and then gently release out of the shape. Take your shoulders, hold them up and back a few times. And then we'll try the other side. So we'll take the right forearm and wrap it behind the lower back. Be aware of your right shoulder. We want to push it down and then hug the arm in a little bit tighter. And then reach the left hand up for the ceiling. Bend at the elbow and bring the palm of your hand onto your back. Hug your upper left arm in towards your ear. And then start to lean the weight of your head back into your arm so that you're leaning back ever so slightly, lifting up through the chest, making space in between the ribs. 3 more breaths here, we'll stay. And then come back to the center, neutralize your spine, get your ribs back into the back body. Reach the left arm up, Release the right arm. This time, take your shoulders up and forward. Great, we'll come out of our kneeling position and come on to hands and knees and a tabletop. So just setting those blocks up towards the top of your mat. Maybe even putting some cushion under your knees if you'd like more support. We'll set ourselves up with the wrists under the shoulders and the knees under the hips. And taking a moment to really activate this shape. So spread the fingers wide, look down into all of your knuckles, root down into the tops of the feet, and then draw the navel up and in towards the spine. Firmly root down into your left palm and reach your right arm out to the side. To the side. And then by pushing the chest open to the right, pull up and out of the left shoulder. And then thread the right arm behind the left, come down to your right shoulder and right cheek. And we'll do this a few more times working with our breath. So press into the left palm, sweep the right arm out and up as you inhale. As you exhale, thread that arm through. Let's do this 3 more times at your own pace. Inhaling to open and exhaling to lower. And really here, just working to find mobility. And last time. Once you come all the way down, you can stay where you are in Balasana. And maybe you'll take a half bind by taking your left hand to your lower back, or maybe even wrapping that left forearm behind the lower back. Now, whatever option you've chosen, start to draw your left shoulder back towards your spine. And then draw your left hip crease back into space, so that we create space from the left shoulder to the left hip crease. 3 more breaths here. If you have the bind, release the bind. Press down into your left palm. Sweep the right arm out and up as you inhale. And as you exhale, place that right hand down. Let's try the other side. Root down to the right palm. Reach the left arm out to the side and then push into the right hand even more as you peel the chest open to the left. Stacking your shoulders. Spread that left arm behind the right. Come all the way down to your left shoulder and left cheek. And again, we'll keep this going. Inhaling to open. Exhaling to lower. 3 more times at your own pace. Finding mobility here. Connecting breath with movement. And then after the last time, stay where you are, resting on your shoulder and your left cheek. And again, maybe you'll stay here, rooting into the right palm. Maybe you'll take a half bind by taking the forearm behind the lower back, or maybe just the right hand to the right hip. Now, wherever you are, peel the right shoulder back towards your spine, and then draw the right hip crease back into space. So we're lengthening here through the side body from right hip crease to right shoulder. Just a few more breaths here. If you have the bind, gently release it. Root into the right palm. Sweep the left arm out and up as you inhale. Exhale the left hand down to your lap. Come back to your tabletop, knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. And take a moment to find some free movement. You can sway the hips, you can circle the hips. You might take a few rounds of cat and cow. Any kind of movement that you feel called to do right now. And just as a reminder, everything that I offer today is right for you. We'll spend just a few more moments finding free movement in the body here. And then open the knees a little wider and sit back to child's pose. Know that you can rest and come back here at any time. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Full breath in. Full breath out. When you're ready, come back up to hands and knees. Tuck your toes under. Let's lift the hips up and back to find a downward dog. Feel free to take some movement in these first few breaths of downward dog. Opening up the body a little more. And then settling into some stillness. Soft micro bend in the knees here. We'll start to bring a little more movement into the body, get the energy flowing. As you inhale, come forward into plank pose. Bring your shoulders over your hips. As you exhale, bring your knees down. Sit back to child's pose, but keep your toes tucked under. And then send the hips up and back to downward dog. We'll do this 5 more times at your own pace. Inhale, plank. Exhale, knees down. Sit back, child's pose. Coming straight into downward dog. Take this at any pace that you like. If you want to start to build some heat, you can move a little faster. If your body needs a little more time this morning, then go a little slower. And after you've done this about 5 times, we'll meet back up in child's pose. You can untuck the toes this time in child's pose. Take a deep breath in and let it out. Slowly come back up to your hands and knees. Tuck your toes under, lift the hips up and back, downward dog. This time we'll bend the knees and look forward and start to slowly walk your feet towards your hands. Coming into a forward fold. Feel free to find stillness here, or you might enjoy a little sway from side to side. And then keeping a tiny micro bend in your knees, start to roll up your spine, vertebra by vertebra, bringing your head up last. Coming to stand in mountain pose, Tadasana. Standing with the feet either all the way together or maybe about as wide as your inner hip points. Feel free to even close your eyes for a moment as you're here. Giving the body some time to transition from being on the ground to standing. Let your breath be present. And as you inhale, reach your arms out and up. As you exhale, hinge from the hips and pull forward. Inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, take your fingertips down to your mat or down to your blocks. Step the left foot back, coming into a low lunge. Aligning your right knee over your ankle and drawing your right hip back into space. Now, wherever you are, blocks or no blocks, come up high onto your fingertips. So more of the weight is in your legs. Your legs create this strong foundation for the shape. Plug down into the balls of the feet as you rise up to a high lunge. And let the hands come to rest on the hips. You might bend your back knee a little like I am if this supports your lower back. And similar to when we were kneeling, we'll take the right forearm and wrap it behind the lower back. We'll send the left hand up towards the sky. This time we're going to lift up and over, leaning to the right. So keep hugging the right upper arm into your side body and draw your inner thighs in to help with balance. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. 2 more breaths here. Now we're going to come back to the center. Swing your left arm behind you as you spin the back heel down for warrior 2. So we're keeping that right forearm in the bind. Align the front heel to the arch of the back foot, and then gently look over your right shoulder. Breathe in. Breathe out. 2 more breaths here. Letting your collarbones grow wider. Now we're going to send the left arm up and over the ear and lean forward like we're coming into side angle pose. So shifting the torso forward about 30 degrees. Keep bending into the right knee and breathe. From here, carefully spin your chest down to face your mat. Spin the back heel up. Send the left hand down to your mat or block. Send the right hand down to your mat or block. Step your right foot back to downward dog. As you inhale, come forward into plank pose. As you exhale, soften the knees down. Shift the weight forward so the shoulders come over the wrists. Bend the elbows back, lower down halfway. And then press back up. 2 more times. Shift the weight forward, bend the elbows back, lower down halfway, and press back up. Last time, shift the weight forward, keep the elbows hugging in tight, bend them back, lower down halfway, and press back up. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back, downward dog. Take a full breath in. And a full breath out. Bend your knees, look forward. You can walk or hop your feet to your hands. Inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale the arms up, roll up the spine. Exhale, find mountain pose. Tadasana. Take a moment, reset your feet, find your stance. Breathe in and breathe out. Trying this on the other side. Inhale your arms out and up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen your spine. Exhale, hands come down to your mat or your blocks. Step your right foot back, finding your low lunge. Aligning the left knee over the ankle and drawing the left hip back into space. Now we'll start to come up onto the fingertips so we can lengthen the spine and let the legs really do the work here. Plug down into the balls of the feet as you rise all the way up to a high lunge. Let your hands come to your hips. Draw your inner thighs together. And then take that half bind, take the left forearm and wrap it behind your lower back. Hug the upper arm into the side body. And then reach the right hand up for the sky. Lift up and over as you take a side bend to your left. Keep hugging that left arm in. If you lose your balance, root into the balls of your feet a little more. Just a couple more breaths here. Then we'll swim the right arm back as we spin the right heel down to land in the binded warrior two. Aligning the front heel to the arch of the back foot. Gently shift your gaze over your left shoulder. See if you can be here for 3 more breaths. Then we'll shift into our modified side angle. So shifting the torso forward, leaning forward and sending the right arm over the hip. Creating this long line from the right fingertips to the right heel. That left leg might be a little tired at this point. That's okay. See if you can keep bending into the knee, but know that you can back out at any time if you need to. Just 2 more breaths here. Carefully spin this chest down to face your mat. Right hand down to your mat or block. Release your bind. Step your left foot back to downward dog. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, knees down. Shift the weight forward, shoulders come over the wrists. We'll take one of those chaturanga push-ups, lower down halfway, and then press back up. Now, if keeping the knees down is too easy for you and you keep that knee a little more, you're welcome to lift the knees up. Let's do this 2 more times. Shift the weight forward, lower down halfway, and press back up. And last time, shift the weight forward, elbows bend back, and press back up. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back, come back to downward dog. Take a breath in, and a breath out. Bend your knees, look forward, and start to walk or hop your feet towards your hands. Inhale, lift up halfway to lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale the arms up, rolling up the spine. Exhale, arms along your side, finding Tadasana, mountain pose. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And sigh out of your mouth. One more deep breath in through the nose. And sigh out of the mouth. As you inhale, reach your arms out and up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen your spine. Exhale, hands to your mat or your blocks. Step your left foot back. So we're going to repeat what we just did, adding on a little bit more. Come up onto your fingertips, lengthen your spine, and then come all the way up to your high lunge. This time, we'll wrap the right forearm behind the back. I'm going to turn so you can see me. We'll reach the left hand up for the sky and take the palm of the hand onto the back. This is where some of you are going to stay. Others might shimmy the right hand up the back and bring the fingertips to meet. You can also use a strap here or hold on to your shirt. Or you can come back to option 1. Now I know we've been here for a while, so when you're ready, lift up and over, leaning to your right. Really creating space in that left side body here. Breathe in. Breathe in. And breathe. One more breath here. Come back to the center. Heel, spin your back heel down. Keep your arms as they are for a binded warrior 2. 3 breaths in warrior 2. Breathing down through the feet. Notice if you're jutting your rib cage forward. If you are, draw the rib cage into your back body. It might mean your hands aren't as close together, but that's okay. Now we'll gently release the bind, take the arms out to a T shape. And then float the right arm down to the right thigh and send the left arm up and over the ear for your side angle pose. You might stay here or you might find a half bind. Peeling the left shoulder back, maybe even lifting the gaze. 2 more breaths here. And then gently release. Take your left hand down to your mat, your right hand down to your mat. Step your right foot back to downward dog. As you inhale, come forward to plank. This time as you exhale, knees can stay up or lower down. We'll lower all the way down to our mat. Come all the way down to your belly. Crawl your fingertips back towards your lower ribs. Press into the feet so much that the kneecaps lift. And then draw your shoulder blades together as you peel your chest off your mat for a baby cobra. Gently lower the chest down to your mat. Tuck your toes under. Push yourself up through bent knees or through plank and come back to downward dog. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Bend your knees, look forward, walk or hop your feet towards your hands. Inhale, lift up about halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale the arms up, roll up the spine. Exhale, find your mountain pose, Tadasana. Deep inhale through the nose. Sigh out of the mouth. Repeating that on the other side. Inhale the arms out and up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway, lengthening your spine. Exhale, round forward, hands to mat or blocks. Step the right foot back, find your low lunge. As you're ready, rise up to your high lunge, hands to hips to start. And then when you're ready, we'll take the left forearm to the lower back. We'll reach the right hand up for the sky and start to bend at the elbow, taking the palm of the hand onto the back. Option 1 is to stay here. Option 2 is to shimmy the left hand up your back. Maybe your fingertips meet, maybe you hold on to your shirt or a strap. Lift up and over as you lean to the left, opening up through the right side body, the right side of the rib cage. Maybe even lifting your gaze to peek under the right armpit. One more breath here. Come back to the center. Spin the back heel down. We'll come into our warrior 2. 3 breaths in warrior 2. Again, notice if you're jutting your rib cage forward. If you are, tuck it into your back body. And then gently release the right hand. Take the left elbow down to the left thigh. We'll shift forward into side angle pose. Maybe you'll stay here. Maybe you'll bind the right arm behind your lower back. Wherever you are, roll your right shoulder back towards your spine, maybe even lifting the gaze. 2 more breaths here. And then gently release your bind if you took it. Right hand down to your mat, left hand down to your mat. Left foot steps back to downward dog. Inhale, come forward to plank. Knees stay up or knees lower down as we slowly lower the body all the way down to the mat. Crawl your fingertips back to your lower ribs, hug your elbows in, lift up through your kneecaps by pressing through your feet. And then lift your head, neck, and shoulders off your mat, find your cobra. You can lengthen the arms any amount here. Collarbones wide on your chest. Lower the chest all the way down. Tuck your toes under, push up your plank or your bent knees. Come back to downward dog. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. This time as you inhale, come forward to plank. As you exhale, soften the knees down. Sit back to child's pose. Let this be a relaxed child's pose. You can release your elbows to your mat. You might turn your palms up to face the ceiling. Taking some time to just reflect and notice how your body feels right now. Start to walk your hands back towards your knees and roll up through your spine. We'll come back to this kneeling position, Vajrasana. So again, you can get any blocks, blankets, or pillows that are necessary to make this shape more supportive. Once more, I'm going to turn around so you can see my back body. And we'll take the same thing that we've been doing, finding these Gomukhasana arms and taking it a little bit further. So starting by the left forearm wrapping behind the lower back. This time we'll shimmy the left hand up the back. So the left shoulder has to press down as the arm hugs it. Reach the right hand up for the sky. Bend at the elbow and take the hands to the back. Okay, so maybe your fingertips touch, maybe they don't. Again, you can hold on to a strap or your t-shirt. But wherever you are, if your hands aren't touching, actively press your fingertips into your back. Now listen carefully here. We're going to lean back ever so slightly. So draw the navel into the spine. Draw the rib cage into the spine. Keep that neutral spine alignment as you lean back. I'm going to turn to the side. Okay, so rather than jutting your rib cage forward, we tuck it in. We keep that neutral spine and lean back. Okay, now come back to the center. Again, maintain the neutral spine and lean forward. Try not to round the back as you lean forward. And then come back to center. Try that one more time. Leaning back for 3, 2, 1. Coming back to center for 3, 2, 1. And then leaning forward. 3, 2, 1. Coming back to center. 3, 2, 1. Gently release the arms. Give your shoulders a few rolls. I know this can be intense sometimes. All right, repeating that on the other side. Taking your, I suppose it's your right arm now. So again, forearm to back, and then shimmy the hand up the back. Left hand to the sky, bend at the elbow. Take the palm to the back. Maybe the hands meet, maybe they don't. And then notice if you're jutting the rib cage forward. We tend to do this because it makes it easier. It makes us able to touch our hands. But that doesn't matter so much if our hands touch. So draw the ribs into the back body, draw the navel into the spine, and see if you can be here for a few deep breaths. Hugging the left arm into the side body. If you press your right shoulder down, you might be able to hug the arm into the side body a little more. And again, we'll try that kind of pendulum, leaning back, leaning forward. Navel to spine, ribs pulling in, leaning back for 3, 2, 1. Come back to center. 3, 2, 1. Leaning forward. 3, 2, 1. Back to center. 3, 2, 1. Last time, leaning back. 3, 2, 1. Back to center. 3, 2, 1. And leaning forward. 3, 2, 1. Back to center. 3, 2, 1. Gently release your arms. Take your shoulders up and forward. Okay, if you're on blocks, lift up and off of your blocks. And we're going to come to lie down all the way onto the belly. So come all the way down to your belly. Move your props out of your way. And ideally here, we have enough space to take our arms out into a T shape. So give yourself some time to just rest on the belly for a minute, giving your body a moment to adjust. Then we have one more little stretch that we'll do here for our shoulders. So guiding your arms out into a T shape. You want to bend the left arm and take the palm of the hand to the ground. So you're making like a 90-degree angle with your left arm. So like this, other arm. Then I'm going to make sure my right hand, wrist, and shoulder are in line. Then we're going to take the left foot and start to step it behind you. Bending that left knee, sending the left foot to your mat. And the more weight you put into that left foot, the more intense this might be. If you have a block nearby, you might even rest your head up on a block if that's more supportive. And then, of course, there's always options. So maybe you stay here. Maybe you take a bind with your left arm, sending it up towards the sky, wrapping the forearm behind your lower back. And you might even take the palm of your left hand down towards the ground, sending a little more weight into that left hand. We'll stay here for 10 full deep breaths. Breathing at your own pace. And sending your breath to the part of the body that needs it most. Wherever you feel the most tension, wherever your movement feels restricted, send your breath there. If you've taken the half bind, gently release it. Send your left hand back down to the ground and carefully return back down to your belly. Take a moment to rest on the belly with the arms along the sides. And then we'll try the other side. So take your arms out to a T shape. Have a block nearby if it was useful on the other side. Bend your right elbow, make that 90-degree angle. Make sure your left hand and shoulder are in line. And then start to bend your right knee, sending that foot behind you, slowly sending weight into the right foot. So take your time to get there. Find your breath. And again, maybe you'll stay here. Maybe you'll take a half bind with the right arm, wrapping the forearm behind your lower back. Maybe even sending the palm of the right hand into the ground. And again, we'll be here for 10 slow breaths. If you have that bind, you can gently release it. Send your right hand back down to the ground and carefully make your way back onto your belly. Again, resting with the arms along the sides for a moment. And then we're going to carefully make our way onto our back. So you can just flip over, you can sit up, however it makes sense for you to move onto your back. Come all the way down. Have the knees bent, your feet on your mat. Take your arms out to a T shape. Give your hips a small scoop to the right side of your mat. And then drop your knees over to the left. And see if you can have your knees about in line with your navel. Send your gaze up towards the ceiling. Some of you might even send your gaze over to the right shoulder. Wherever you are, let each exhale allow your right shoulder to release into the ground. We'll stay here for 5 breaths. Gently start to shift your gaze back to the ceiling. Shift your hips back to the center. And then give your hips a small scoot over to the left side of your mat and drop your knees over to the right. Have the knees about in line with the navel, and maybe you work to stack one knee on top of the other. Feel free to let your gaze lie at the ceiling, or maybe it lies over the left shoulder. And again, wherever you are, allowing each breath out to release your left shoulder into the ground. 5 steady breaths here. At this point in class, seeing if you can really slow your breath down. Shift your gaze back to the ceiling. Shift your hips back to the center. We'll remain on our backs for a few more moments. Let your arms rest along your sides and feel free to close your eyes. Just like when we started class, send your breath into your chest. Slowing the breath down. And with each inhale, slowly starting to broaden, expand through the chest. And then letting the chest sink and melt down into the back body. Take 5 more breaths like this. And even when you've taken in as much air as you can, Sip in just a little more air at the top. Letting the breath live in the chest. And last breath here. Good. Good. Now we're going to repeat this, but this time sending our breath down into the belly. So slowly starting to inhale, filling the belly up with air, letting it broaden, letting it expand, and slowly releasing that breath as the belly melts down into your back body. 5 more breaths like this, breathing into the belly. And taking just as much time to inhale as you do to exhale. And one more breath here, breathing into the belly. And slowly letting that go. You can let the hands stay on the belly or rest along your sides. Take a moment to come back to your natural breath. And we'll start to find our way into Shavasana. So if there was any other pose that you needed today, maybe a happy baby, feel free to take the next 20 seconds to find any other yoga pose that you needed. And if you already feel complete, go ahead and find your way into Shavasana. Setting yourself up for comfort, whatever that looks like for you. I personally like a little support under my knees, so I'm going to roll up a blanket and put that under my knees. You could put blocks under your knees or pillows under your knees. You could lie on your side or your belly. You can even sit up and find seated position. Whatever is restful for your body, these last few moments are for you to find that rest. Feel free to soften your eyes and let them close. Let your breath be natural and easy. And allow your thoughts to drift in and drift out without judgment, without attachment. Slowly start to deepen your breath. Inviting some gentle movement back into the body. You can bend your knees, bringing your feet onto your mat. Carefully rolling over to your side, coming into a fetal position. And slowly coming all the way up to sit. Sitting, however, it's supportive for you. We'll take the palms together at the heart. Maybe closing the eyes. Taking a moment to thank your body for all that it lets you do. Thanking yourself for setting aside this time out of your day. And thanking the many teachers of yoga who have passed down this ancient wisdom. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. My name is Jenna. Have a beautiful day.